Now we will discuss some of the other commonly available dairy products in the market. And I think first and foremost product that is very abundantly available in the market after liquid milk is curd or yogurt. It is called also dahi in the local language. It is the second largest product that is available after fluid milk. The process is quite straightforward and simple. The milk is boiled at 50 degrees C and then it is brought down to a lower temperature, and at the lower temperature we do add a spoon of an old curd. So that would actually add the lactic acid bacteria to this new batch of milk, and from that the bacteria would start consuming the lactose present in milk to produce lactic acid. And this lactic acid, because it's an acid, so it would drop down the pH to 4.6. This 4.6 is basically an isoelectric point of protein of casein basically. So this casein would curd, and that would be the start of the formation of curd basically. So we need this pH 4.6. This is a gradual process because the lactose is gradually consumed by microorganisms. So this gradual process would lead to a final product in which the serum of milk is actually entrapped in the protein molecules of this milk. So that would be our final product called as curd. Normally the optimum temperature is 35 to 40 degrees C for formation of curd, and it would normally take 8 to 12 hours for formation of this curd. So once this product is formed, that can be refrigerated for around 2 to 3 days. So that would basically be increasing the shelf life of this end product as well. So this is one way of basically prolonging the shelf life as well as adding the variety of food in our daily diet. So once the pH, as I earlier discussed, it reaches to 4.6, the pH goes down, it would stop the production of more lactic acid, or the activity of microorganism is basically halted by this low pH. So that would actually be the cause of increased shelf life of this product. This product would not only have longer shelf life, but it would also be more nutritious, as it does contain certain elements such as thiamine and riboflavin present in the final product. So this product would be more nutritious than the milk counterpart. It has also been reported that this curd or yogurt, or in other words dahi in our local language, it would contain certain microorganisms that would be reducing the incidence of certain diseases caused by Bacillus typhosis, Bacillus dysentery, and Vibrio cholera. So these are basically three diseases, cholera, dysentery, and typhoid, that can be prevented by the consumption of these products. Paneer or cottage cheese is another locally available product. As we earlier discussed, that this is formed by adding some of the acids such as lemon and boiling the milk to a higher temperature, and this would result in formation of curd. So we would be left with two end product. One is curd, another is the liquid product. This liquid product is called as whey, and this whey would be containing a lot of proteins. Normally 18% of this whey is protein in nature. So that is from where we get these whey proteins having multiple application in the human nutrition. Cheese is another application, is another kind of product that is available in the market, and there's a lot of variety of cheeses available. The difference between cottage cheese and cheese is the other cheeses would have longer ripening times, and there would be some of the different procedural changes involved as well. For example, when we form cheese, we need to bring the temperature to 27 degrees C, and then we add lactic acid culture. This lactic acid culture would be a defined culture basically that would be added to this milk. and the milk would be slightly acidic. Then we add another compound called rennet. Rennet is basically is an enzyme that helps in curdling of the milk. So that would initiate the curdling process of milk. Once the curdling process takes place, then we heat this product at 37 degrees C. So that would be actually helping to reduce the amount of moisture or whey in the product. And once we dry this whey, another step is adding salt to this product. So salt also function in a similar way. It reduces the moisture content in the final product. So this cheese, once it is formed, it can be coated with paraffin to avoid further moisture loss of moisture, and the cheese is left at certain situations, conditions in which it is basically ripened for a very long time, and the quality of final product or the price of final product would be dependent upon the aging process. Cheese is highly nutritious. It would contain around 24% of proteins, and it acts as a concentrated source of protein. Another last product is buttermilk. As we form curd in the milk, this curd would lead to formation of whey, and this whey again is basically processed to remove any further amount of fats present in the whey, and these fats, once removed, the remaining product is called as buttermilk. So this buttermilk actually doesn't have that much calories because fat is actually removed, and it is quite healthy because it has different amino acids. Protein components are of buttermilk are also highly important, and some of the other benefits, it can maintain the intestinal flora, and especially after attack of diarrhea, the maintenance of microflora of intestine is highly important. So these were some of the products that we discussed in other dairy products, which are very commonly available in the market, and they are consumed worldwide.